Hey guys, good morning. It is TCG Mama here, Jenna Flo, and I had a wonderful day yesterday at Set Champs. We were at Wild Growth Games out in Highland, Illinois. Just the cutest little store ever. Our friend Liz owns it. I'm going to throw up some pictures so you guys can see. But man, we really had just a real communal event. We were able to get our playtime in. We were able to get some extra games in because we had an immediate top cut, but I was super excited to walk away with a Enchanted Tinkerbell, the card of the hour. So I've played in two other set champs. I did not do so well. I have a non-meta, extremely aggressive aggro deck that if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So my last two situations, I did not get my hits with my Tianas and some of the packages I needed with my Clawhousers and things, and you could probably tell that some of those cards don't necessarily go anywhere near the meta right now, but that's okay because I was able to secure myself an enchanted at this event, and that's all I really wanted this time. I'm all about just getting into top 8. I've only been playing cards for about a year and a half. So, you know, anything that I get that's a bit of a competitive reward is super exciting for me. You can see that I've got the cards for attending. So I almost have a play set. I'll most likely be attending one more Set Champ event so I can get all 4 of the cards for the event. So excited about that. Maybe potentially sneak into top 8 and get a Tinkerbell. I know the competition is going to be extremely crazy at this next event, so I might try to get some video while I'm there so you guys can see a little bit what it's like to play in the Midwest gaming area down in St. Louis. So excited to go to the collector store and play this Saturday. So while I was at Liz's store, she, again, is a diamond in the rough. She is about 45 minutes outside of downtown St. Louis and more, again, on the Illinois side to the east. So she had some Fabled packs, which everyone knows are hot right now. So I was able to get her packs, the last 3 packs that she had in the store, which is awesome. I know the person before me got a couple packs, so we were like, oh, she's got Fabled. I'm going to get those. So I figured I would go ahead and open those on the stream for you today. So let's go ahead and see what we got. All right. Tiana, not my love Tiana, but hey, still Tiana. Aurora. I'd love to get an Amber Sapphire deck that actually worked with princesses. That would be so cool. Anybody has suggestions, throw them in the comments. All right, we got an Alice. Oh, Shenzi. I have the most fun. I call it my Christmas deck. It's Emerald Ruby, and I love playing hyenas. So yeah, super cool seeing that card. Played against this card a bunch yesterday. And our puzzle piece. So the guy over there. See, I was talking to my buddy Eric, talking about the loose pack magic, guys. Like finding some cool stuff. I love Hidden Cove. In these loose packs that we get, we'll buy cases and booster boxes and all kinds of stuff, and then you buy the loose packs. Let's see if we got that magic here. Lawrence, that's a card I absolutely run. Love Lawrence, he is great. All right, Captain Hook, also good. Beast, and a shiny Pluto. I've worked this into a couple of my decks. It's not enough for me, and it's uninkable in order to be competitive, but definitely is pretty awesome, and you can tap it and start paying less for other cards. All right, we got a puzzle piece, and let's see. All right, here we go. Oh, Queen, here we go, talking about the Queens and Princesses. Another Hidden Cove, that's nice. Fire the Cannons, I just swapped this out. So I've been playing Fire the Cannons probably for the past like 9 months in my Amber Steel deck. But I have swapped it out, and I am using the Quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Pull out my deck for you guys real fast. Here we go, Quick Shot. So, quick shot for me is better because I need that card draw. And I'll be honest with you, I have seen a lot of people running these damage decks where they're transferring damage, and they don't think that we have the ability to like do a damage when you're playing against Amber Steel, because typically, other than just like a complete like removal with one of the songs, I can play this, and some of them are riding really close to, -3 on a 4 strength, and bam, they're gone. And that has been a really nice shock that deck's been giving people with that card. So Fire the Cannons, like I said, it's a great card, and it ran its course for me and did wonderful things, but I got that card draw with Quick Shot, and that 1 damage is enough to really impact some of these damage transfer decks. All right, Lisa, Huns. Oh man, we play this here. Reveals their hand. I love Ursula because my right now Achilles heel is anything that has Emerald. So any green deck, if I see coming, I know this is going to be hard for me. But they look at my Ursula, they'll pull. I do not. If I get songs when I first pull, I will mulligan them out because I don't need them right away, and I need to build up my my character base. So I always make sure I don't have them in, and people get so mad. They're like, oh, I'm gonna take your song, I'm gonna do this, and then they look at my hand, they're like, oh, it's all characters. So love you, Ursula, keep playing them, Emerald players. Hey, oh my gosh, hey. So there is word on the street. We're trying to get a Hey Gauntlet event. Someone recently did a Gantu event. It was a gauntlet where you basically can make decks up to 3 colors as long as they include Gantu, and I love the idea. There was like a 3D printed trophy, I believe, and just some really cool stuff. And so we're talking right now to try to get an event like this going late summer, early fall. And Hey is our daughter's favorite. If any of you guys saw us up in Milwaukee, she was walking around in her stroller most of the time, but in her Hey costume, and she met like all the cool people. She met Baker. She met all these like, podcasters that she sees on our TV, and she absolutely loved it. So we're like, man, let's like theme an event. So Hey is the way we're thinking. So we want to try to do a situation where we do a deck where you have to integrate Hey. You can add it as a 3rd color if you need to. But yeah, and then just see what it is, because that's like the thing I'm thinking is really a gap right now in Lorcana. We are having so many just like, it's the same meta deck. It's, oh, you're playing dogs. Of course you are, because you want to win. I get it. But also too, it's really hitting the locals. It's really negatively impacting stuff. And I'm so pumped about Infinity in Indianapolis because it is reviving locals. I'm telling you right now, Ravensburger, if you're listening, it is true. We are seeing people come out, haven't played Infinity in a hot minute, and they're like, oh crap, I need to like work my old deck and make sure it still works. And all of a sudden we're having 10, 12 people show up at locals. That is unheard of in the past probably 3 to 4 months. So please understand, offering some of these other forms of playing the game competitively are what is triggering people to come back to locals. And we really, really need that. For us in St. Louis, to say locals are like lightly attended, that's huge because we have a massive scene here, and it is literally just like, okay, I guess I'll play you, online or something, or we'll just, video chat and play, because, it's hard to the locals. Most of us have kids. We don't have, sitters. We have football and soccer, and it's baseball season out here right now, which is like killing everybody's weeks for sure. We know that. So, it's worth it. It's your kids, and that's what you're going to do. But also too, it's nice to have like maybe a little bit of an exciting thing you can plan for and be like, hey, like maybe you can get a friend to take the kids and you can go and have a night. Just was talking with a buddy yesterday. Don't ever feel bad about that. We have 5 kids ranging in age from 23 to 2 years old. And I have never in my life, until probably I was like, my kids were in their late teens, that I really understand the importance of self-care and like relationships when it comes to, it's okay for you to be like, hey, I've been to all 12 of your games, and I'm gonna just go take a night with me and dad. We're gonna go do a thing, or me and my partner, and we're gonna go and play some cards because we love it, and we want to see our friends because that's really important. So we just worked on getting a new sitter for our daughter who is 2, and I know at some point she's gonna be coming to a bunch of stuff with us, but seriously, don't feel guilty about that. You need to have your time. A lot of people are going to Indianapolis, and the buddy I was talking to, him and his wife, they have 2 younger kids that are elementary, middle school age, and you know, they're excited. It's a kids-free weekend for them. They got sitters, and they're about to come out and play Lorcana all weekend, and that's super exciting. So either way, if you bring the kids with, it's awesome, but also too, you know, if that's a constructive way for you and your partner to connect and spend time together, it's totally worth it. And again, when we don't have locals firing it all, they're just going to peter off. And so going back off my tangent, Ravensburger, think about some alternative events. Try to come and support some of these things that we've got out there, like these gauntlet events and these random things that we're throwing together as, you know, people who love Lorcana and know that the weekday play is not the easiest to get to. So we're trying to do these like off meta events again too, because like there are so many people getting turned away because of the very myopic meta that exists. And so you know, this could be a way to get through this until we just get more cards out there, is really what I'm thinking. So anyhow, hey it is. Welcome to our first announcement of our Hey event. And I will have way more out there about this. We'll have lots of information. You know, we'll do some profiles at the store and stuff too, dates and all that, but I think this will be really cool. So something to maybe plan for. All right. These Sisu. Oh, definitely hate seeing her come out. Yep. But she's such a great card, right? So, all right, we've got a shiny Rhea. All right, another petal piece. So guys, I wound up doing really well with this because, again, I definitely want to keep the Hey-Heys at Ursula's to do some practice against decks, which we're always trying to do. Fire the Cannons, got some locations. And then also to, I run Lawrence, so he's right in here. So extra copy of him, not a bad thing at all. Another Hidden Cove. And then this Donald. So again, you know, for those of you who play competitive, you're normally playing at home, trying to find the lines and stuff of your opponents, so you're trying to understand how their decks roll and stuff. And for me, I'm a visual learner. I will most likely do a video on this because I think it's important, but I made a bunch of decks that I keep up that are meta, and I play against them, and then I use them and play them. That is a suggestion from Josh, who is one of the guys that we play with all the time. He was one of the first guys to get us heavily into the game. And he just so happens to be the father of Aiden, who is one of our Golden Mickey winners. So I absolutely love the way that they train. I love the way that they play. Love to have them interviewed at some point on this channel. But the point is that don't just think about your deck. Think about how these extra cards that you get when you're opening packs could help you build an example of a meta deck or something that you can try to play against as well too if you are trying to play competitively, because there's nothing more encompassing than understanding how your opponent pulls cards and what they're looking for, so that way you know when you see their board most likely what's coming next or what they're trying to pull. So good stuff. Last thing I'm going to open today is going to be our winner spell. I got this pack for participating yesterday, so thank you so much, Liz. We had a wonderful time, and I can't wait to be back at your store for your 1-year anniversary. That's coming up in May. Liz mentioned she's going to do the pre-release for our next Lorcana set. It'll be the same weekend as their 1-year anniversary, so we can't wait to spend that time with them up there. Okay, guys, Game Preserve. This makes me want to go back to playing location so bad. Guys, I'm a heavy location player. I have a Ruby Amber deck that I have won set champs with multiple times, and it has got our RLS Legacy. Like, I mean, you're talking like heavy location play, and people just freak out when they see locations come out because immediately they think they have to be gone because they do gain lore. But it is a great distractor, especially if you're running a deck like Amber, Ruby Amber deck, where you're having like, okay, I have people that are just up here questing like crazy, especially as we go into infinity. So I'm talking like if I pull out a Piglet, a Lilo, and then I get a Baloo turn 3 who, you know, is going to give me 2 lore if you remove him, and then I drop 1 or 2 locations that have some sort of lore attractor, there is going to be panic that your opponent sets in. That is so much what I've understood about playing Lorcana competitively. It's about throwing your opponent. It's not because you cannot use instants. It's not like Magic where you can just pop stuff through. It's not like Riftbound where you're doing one-on-one battles. You have got to plan. And the way to plan is to try, if you can, during your opponent's turn, to psychologically bump them by laying down cards that they don't know how to get out of the way, especially when you're trying non-meta stuff. So I personally love playing cards like this. This is a, it's a 3-chop 2 lure. All right. And then your characters gain evasive here. I don't do all that evasive stuff. I just like, it's too much for me to play decks like that. So I barely do removal at all when it comes to Lorcana. But this baby, you just lay 2 of those out or something. You're talking like by turn like 4 or 5, you've got like 4 lore every time. Then you've got 4 to take it away. And then meanwhile, I'm sitting up here with at least 6, if not sometimes 8, if I've got like a Nala and a Sebastian out there, and like you're thinking, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Do I take out Baloo for 2? Do I let these 2 like 6 questing guys stay up there nested with a bodyguard? Oh my god, she's got locations. Like that type of stuff is great. Now, like I said, it does not get me the #1 spot. It is not going to get me to top 32 out in Indianapolis by any chance, but it is just a really cool way to kind of think about how you can make these non-meta decks and shock your opponents, and really you're going to win some games. You're going to win rounds. You're going to be chasing that 3rd win like I did out Richmond, chasing that 3rd win. Anywho, so cool. Just wanted to talk a little bit about these locations. All right, Darkwing Duck, Mouse, Indestructible. That's kind of cool. Guys, I am not as familiar with Winter Spells as I should be. I'm sorry, like the new set for Riftbound came out at the same time and I got totally pulled in different directions. And then we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Magic, which is like, oh, my life. So, yeah, I gotta get a little bit more heavily into this before the new set for Lorcana comes out, because there are some really cool sneaky cards. I like that Steel Lilo, which I guess it's uninkable, I think, 2-drop to lure, but I have that Pudge card, which is so cool. I love that free fish you can play for like Lilo, and I already run a Lilo in my deck, so I'm like, oh man, like that's kind of cool. With playing aggro, it's the cards you play are so important. Kind of wasting one of my 7 cards for a 1-drop Pudge, even if I can play it for free, I don't know, because most of my cards are at least questing for 2, if not 3. But it is just kind of cool. I don't know, maybe try to put it together and flex it out. But anywho, Launchpad, Claw, Rabbit, Nani. Okay, so played against a bunch of people who are playing Amber Steel right now and are using this Nani card. All right, we play this character with the top 4 of your deck. You may reveal a character card with cost 2 or less and put that in your hand. Rest of the bottom of your deck. I mean, guys, like, I guess you can, but will a 3-drop that only quests for 1? And like, man, it's frustrating seeing Amber Steel go to control. Like, that's just so anti what it's been for so long. And then they play against me and they're like, oh, it's a mirror match, Amber Steel. No, it's not. I'm going to kind of completely bake you because you're dropping 3-drop 1 lures. Oh, you get to pull a card out of your hand. Super great. But, unless you've got an Under the Sea and I don't have a Pete, like, I'm going to win. So, those things, like, it's just, you can't have ramp and Amber Steel in that way. It is, you gotta up the lore Ravensburger if you want to really try to make these cards integrated. Because I definitely smoked several people playing the grandmother tree and this card, and they had a Lilo, they had a Daisy, they had kind of the normal package, but like they were super searching for those Under the Seas. They were hiding in those decks, and they try to wheel once through with Tramp and look for it. They don't find it. That's it. They're done. So I don't know. I feel like some of these like new card integrations and to go back, don't put her in. Go back to dogs the way it was. It works better. John Smith's Compass. I remember when they came out with this card and I was so excited. Okay, at the end of your turn, if your character challenge, banish this item. Then your turn, if none of your characters challenged, reveal the top cards of your deck. If it's a character card, cost 3 or less. Pocahontas, you put it in your hand. Otherwise, I wanted to build this Pocahontas deck. I had a vision, guys. I had a vision. I was like, oh man, the set is so cool. It's got Pocahontas in it. We're all planning to go out to LA, to Anaheim. And I already got my Pocahontas Pocahontas, my magic band to put all my stuff on because we are super pumped. I got LCQ tickets. So, you know, I'm excited about Pocahontas. Love it. So I was like, I'll make this Pocahontas deck and it's going to be great. And then I had nothing. Like it wasn't anything I could build back in. So maybe I'll play around with that. Maybe I'll do an exploratory video with, you know, Winter Spell just to get more familiar with it and see if we really can make some sort of Pocahontas deck fly. But if I do, I want to build it around this card because I just think it's super cool. And we'll see. Tamatiyu. Love Tamatiyu. I built lots of decks trying to play this Tamatiyu with all the typos, and I put a Pacha in there and made a location spin on it and everything. I just could never get, I was just never comfortable playing it. And that's okay. I mean, people who are playing like, you know, Ruby Sapphire and, you know, any sort of Sapphire Steel and stuff, they're different card players than I am, and that's cool. My buddy Lucas is always playing these things. Like, his brain is just like wired to play it. I've tried, I can't. I actually watched a buddy of mine play Ember Steel this weekend and he totally botched it, and he's a phenomenal player. It's just like, dude, you gotta be real ballsy to play Ember Steel. You've got to just put everything out there. You cannot overthink stuff, and if you're an overthinker player, like, Amber Steel's not the colors for you. And I feel like the, you know, the anything that's got Sapphire in it's like a little bit more your control, you're thinking about combos, you're doing stuff that you're 10 steps ahead of your opponent when you're thinking about what they could pull next and stuff. That sort of card play is great. It gives me a headache, so I don't like it. But I love the Tamatiyu. Oh my gosh, and look at this. Oh, this is so cool. So out of our single pack, we got the Grandmother Willow. I do like this card. My problem is I have way too many Uninkables already in my deck. I'm throwing this in here with Nala, Calhoun. I've already got Sebastian. I've got, you know, this like chunk of at least 16 cards. And then I tried to throw Grandmother Willow in, and sure enough, I wound up stuck at 2 ink for 3-4 turns. And I was sitting next to my buddy who's a real competitive player out here in the St. Louis scene. Justin, he played Yu-Gi-Oh forever, and I was just like, I just would go turns and you see an aggro player not putting any ink down, and everybody knows, people next to you know, people across from you know, like, oh dang. Yep, and we call that getting mana effed in Magic. But, you know, I basically had no ink, and I was just 3 turns in a row pulled Uninkables, and I had a beautiful hand of like several 3 lore cards that I just couldn't play because I didn't have enough in my inkwell. So, love you, Grandma Willow. I will play you at some point, maybe. But this is a cool card. So anyway, guys, I ranted a little bit on this video. This is a lot about who I am. I try to do some unboxing videos and stuff where I don't talk as much because, you know, I'm a teacher. I've been an instructor, a professor, do a lot of talking myself. But yeah, I think that I wanted to just talk with you guys a little bit more as our channel expands. We officially have over 1,000 subscribers. Woohoo! So thank you all out there that have been watching our content and been sharing it. It really does mean a lot. And, you know, for myself, as I start to do a lot more of our family content and some instructional things that I'm going to come out with related to travel plans for Indianapolis and for Disney, those sort of videos and things are really going to be important because I don't see anybody else making content like this in this kind of spin who also is running kids in these events and bringing their partners with them. And this is like becoming, Lorcana is a family vacation for us. And that's exciting in so many ways because we're not just going to experience Disney. We're not just going to, like, you know, check out Indianapolis and the cool stuff that they have and the skywalks and all that. We are there to compete and see what we can do constructively. And that's a whole different experience for your kids when they see your parents involved in that. And then if your kids are old enough to compete, oh my gosh, they're actually participating. And, you know, like I said, nothing cooler than Aiden making all the way up to Golden Mickey in Milwaukee and just really being an example of there are some incredible kids out there playing. So yeah, super want to thank you for stopping by my channel, and we'll see you next time.